Sports Frenzy podcast. It's another episode of our, well, I would say daily show. It's only on Sundays I don't see our faces, but we're here once again on a Friday. When you say a Friday, you know that football is going on. It's only one league you can expect us to um, discuss. Well, not necessarily one league, because if there are interesting things going on in other leagues, we tend to touch on them. But as it stands tonight, we'll be here to discuss some EPL action. Some EPL football will take place over this weekend, and a lot of interesting games on hand. And boy, when I say interesting, I mean a lot of interesting games, because one particular coach is in a fixture that they say is that they call it the El Sakiko. So um, these two managers are under pressure to deliver, and if they don't, then it's problem for one of them. And I see that quite a few people are hot already. Big up yourself, Jason Curlew. Big up yourself, I Gate Boss. Yeah, man. Big up on yourself, man. Pine Action jump in again with the basketball. Talk about Lakers in trouble. LeBron out of young players to trade away. The Miami Heat is sneaking good and will end up in the conference finals. James Harden looking awful with the rule changes. But that's Pine Action for you, man. Pine Action really discuss the matter, and Pine Action always straight from the point. But big up to everybody. Welcome again, man. And big up to Kims. Here once again, boss, to discuss some EPL. And as I said, a lot of interesting games that will be taking place this weekend. And what better way to start it than tomorrow morning? We'll see Arsenal, who people claim that they're in form and this and that and what have you not. While Leicester are slowly but surely picking up a head of steam. James Madison back in form, and I remember you said it on the previous podcast that it seems like when I call out these players, they tend to step up. So James Madison has stepped up his game and he has looked good. So that's a good thing for Leicester. So being at home tomorrow morning, do you think that they'll beat this Arsenal team, knowing that this is one of Jamie Vardy's favorite opponent to score against, and he has been in form so far? So what do you think?
Um, so the only person who I call out and them not show up yet are Bruno. All know me can't see Bruno show up. I know every day we call him out, he can't
I
show
say
up.
Maximan.
Huh?
And say
And him
Maximan.
too. But as it relates to this game per se, I definitely think, Leicester can win this game. Arsenal has been playing better, of course, but so has Leicester. Leicester they beat Manchester United, and they also beat a tough Brentford team. Remember this Brentford team was a team that, you know, that beat Arsenal soundly. Albeit the first game of the season a win is still a win. And you mentioned it earlier as well that James Madison is actually stepping into form right now. The last game, he got the winner. So with that being said, I remember Arsenal is a team that he wanted to go to. So what better way than for go and put on a masterclass against a team that you really wanted to go to, who you probably still can go to. You know, So while the spotlight is on you, why not go ahead and shine? I think Vardy will cause Ben White some problems around there. I think Vardy caused all defenders problem, but I think he caused Ben White some problems, and your boy there, Tillisman, him up on a piece of farm as well, and if you see anything with Arsenal, they're prone to make some like a bonehead mistake. And with a man like Tillsman who's on farm firing on all cylinders, want make them mistakes early in the game against Leicester. Because I think there was a stat, that was saying something about, Arsenal was scoring the first half, but in the second half, they're not really as good as the first half. I think the first half is normally Arsenal's stronger half. So with that being said, I think Leicester will win this game. I think it will be a hard fought game. I think it'll be very gritty. I think it will be ugly, but I think Leicester will just edge it over the line, and I think I'll give Leicester I would say I'll give them a 1-0 victory.
Okay, boss. Welcome, Chris Lynch. Welcome, boss.
Welcome, my boss. Night games, night viewers.
Blessings, blessings.
Blessings, games.
All right. Arsenal up against Vardy. How you see this one going?
Uh, the Arsenal hitting form. Leicester, obviously finding it easy to score goals. So I can easily see these two teams scoring. But this probably play out to a draw, probably a 1-1 draw Arsenal. 1-1 for me.
Okay. Um, when I look at this Leicester team, do you think that is a team that people are sleeping on, or do you think that they get the result, they get the respect that they show in terms of they have not done anything over the top for people to get all that excited. It's just what they're due they have given. Do you agree?
I don't think people probably see them as a like people probably respect even Tottenham more than Leicester, but I would differ with those people because I think Leicester City the quality that they poses, I would love to have a Tielemans in my team, to be honest. I like his game. I think he's like a lot of teams. I mean, he would fit into a Manchester United. He'd fit into any one of the top teams right now, to be honest. He's on farm basically, but we have seen this in international, and we have seen this season before. Tielemans was a steady player for them. So I think instead of Tottenham, the respect that people give to Tottenham, I think Leicester City should get that respect as a
I,
top
I, I
six
agree
team.
with you because they have recently won an EPL back in what 2016, I believe it was, and they even won a couple cup since then. So I mean, what Tottenham has won, so they deserve to get some respect, man. But big up again to people in the comment section. I see Adrian Nicholson, Pepe Paul. I also see Shamika, Anthony Henry. Big up on yourself, man. But remember, guys, you can call in and leave your thoughts. Number to call is 876-850-3189, and the comment is in the comment section. The number is in the comment section for those who don't see it. Here it is on the screen, so you can call in and just leave your views. Next up, we're going to see. Some might say a tough game. Well, probably a 6-pointer if you ask me. Watford taking on Southampton. Two teams that, boy, every point that they can possibly get, they need to get it. So with that in mind, well, hold on a second before I move on, because here comes the man from Arsenal, the one that says that Arsenal is going to go on this long unbeaten stretch. Talking about Mannings. Well, go on, Mannings.
Hey, Kems, how you
Mannings
doing,
seems to.
man? I'm here, man. I'm here. Hey, Chris Lynch, how you doing?
Yes, sir. Doing great. Doing
We need,
great.
we need to reposition this stream. Manchester United is down below. Arsenal and Liverpool up top. So we need to
Okay.
reposition the images
Okay.
so
I
that
hope
you and I
Josh
are
Gall
up.
is
So
listening.
you and I are up top, and these guys are, you know, after that 5-0 drubbing, this is the first time I'm on. Please just readjust the screen, people, because you
All
know.
right. So what are you saying? It deserves to
Thank
be
you
like
so much.
this?
Thank you so much, Josh Carl. There you go. That's better. That's what I'm talking about. That's a whole lot better.
Kim said the disrespect.
Kim knows that he deserves.
But
Big
Mannings,
Kim.
your
disrespect,
team.
but
There
we now have nothing for say. We just have to just stick with Elliot,
you
man.
go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, man. Right now, I deserve some duct tape. But
Yeah.
Mannings, your team take on Leicester tomorrow, man. A team that normally gives you guys trouble. How you see that one going?
I think it's going to be a tough game. I would be happy if I came away with a draw, especially because Benjamin White will not be playing. He picked up the bug. So he could be out, which means we're going to have to make some changes to our defense line. And so there, I hear that there's one other player, one other starter who could be out because it's a bug. It is the normally it's the COVID business. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? So I would be okay with a draw given because Leicester is on a 5-game unbeaten streak as well. They have been scoring some goals. I know that Vardy is going to be out, but I think Ian Archer can pose problems, and James Madison, who was dying to come to Arsenal, he has found some good form. Their defense seem to be playing better. I mean, they have played well with the new signing in midfield, although indeed he has not been there. I forget the last name, but yeah, he was in
Samari.
Samari. He was at Lille, and he came over. He has adjusted pretty well. Tillemans, who I think is a player that could fit the Jordan Henderson role at Liverpool. Um, I think that's a player that Manchester United or Liverpool really need to just break the bank and get in January to
Facts.
really. I think he's a very good player, and he has done that very well. Yeah, and there is also Dhaka as well. So they still have a very formidable team out there. So if we can come away with a tie away from home, I think that would be, you know, that would be good for us.
So how you see it finishing?
Of course, I'm going to. My head is telling me 1-1, but
My
my
heart is
heart
telling
is
me
telling
2-1.
me 2-1 for
So,
Arsenal.
so which one are
So,
you working with?
so um, I'm going to go with my heart. You understand me? Yeah, I'm going to
All
go with
right,
my
boss.
heart.
Quick
So
question
yeah.
as well. For what? Since this season, I've seen people creating a lot of noise and saying that you guys shouldn't have went out and bought Ben White because there's a particular player that you have loaned out to Marseille that is so
Yeah.
superior to Ben White in terms of everything that your coach actually want in a central defender, because he want Ben White because Ben White can play the ball, but Saliba is just as good at playing the ball. And if you check their stats this season, it could be said that he is at a higher level than what Ben White has done for you guys so far. So, what do you think of William Saliba?
I think he's a very good player. They wanted him to stay in England. He wanted to go to Ligue 1 over there in France. Um, I don't know if he's miles better. I've heard many people say, "Oh, he's still 20 years old," and that must be he has not represented the senior team. He's that good. He can break into the France national team. He plays for the under 23s. We need to remember that he has not played a game in England. It's a different, what you call a different kettle of fish. And sometimes we must not become so enamored by people playing, in some of these leagues. Because really and truly, the standard, yeah, he may come up against a Mbappe and do well, but that's 1 week. In the Premier League, you're gonna have Hurricane 1 week. You're gonna have Cristiano Ronaldo 1 week. You're gonna have Jamie Vardy 1 week. You're gonna have Mohamed Salah 1 week. You're gonna have a Manchester City with no forward and still scoring goals. You're gonna have a West Ham. You're gonna have Ashley Barnes and yeah, it's just like in the Premier League. It is every single week that you have this. You get a half week in, yeah, you get a half week in some of the other leagues, in my opinion. What you're gonna have a Lukaku. You understand me? Any given week in the Premier League, you're going up against a big time player. Ben White has represented England. He's still young. He's what, 24, 23, 24 right there. So it's not like he's miles older than Saliba. And Saliba can break into the French side. England went to the finals of the Euro, further than France. So though White didn't play, White could say, I made the finalists of the Euros. You can't get into, you're playing under 23, and I'm playing in a higher league than you. I had a good season at Brighton. What makes you better than me? Because he had a
All
good
right,
game
quick
against
question though.
Mbappe. How many Mbappes do you
Quick,
face?
quick question though. I heard what you have said in that, but when you look at the French national team, in terms of central defensive pairing, it's no joke, because I see man like Upamecano can't get any game for them, and he plays for Bayern week in, week out, right? So if you
Yeah.
factor in things like those, it's really hard for him to actually break through when the coach himself, right, as a trusted source in Varane and what's the other guy who plays as centre back, man?
Kempembe.
Kimpembe. Yeah,
Kimpembe. Yeah.
Kimpembe. So
Yeah,
when he plays guys like those, it's really hard for Saliba to actually break through. So even Konate hasn't played for them. I know you have Jules Kunda from Sevilla,
they're
who
overloaded
is the
in
one that
that
is
position.
My
exactly. So
point
for him to be able to
exactly.
actually break through,
But that means you see how far he's down the pecking order. So I am
mhm.
saying that in terms, you have Stones, who is a good center. people, the truth is, people may look at these English defenders and say one-on-one they are not good. But right now, if you agree that the EPL is the toughest of all the leagues, then you have to also use that in your measurement. You have to use that.
True.
In for the last couple of seasons, the semi-finalists in the Europa League and the Champions League have been predominantly English clubs, almost like for 4 years in a row. So those things have to be put in there as well. You understand me? Yeah. So
But
yeah,
here's also Jay Zilla saying that, say Laporte had to switch nationality to get a game.
I agree with
So
that. But
that's what.
a Saliba need to prove. He was given the option of proving. He was told by Arsenal, stay and go to a team in the Premier League and prove yourself. He opted to go to France. I don't think he proves anything. I've seen Nicolas Pepe tearing up the league over there at Lille. Come to Arsenal, look like a bug. We can go on and on
Proving
of these
himself to
players.
be.
Yeah, I'm telling
Manningsman,
you. Yeah,
Manningsman, hold on. So that Nicolas Pepe reference, wouldn't that be an indictment against Arsenal instead of the player?
exactly. Well, I can agree with that. But the bigger point is many
Both
times,
both could go though. Could be an
yeah, it could be
indictment
both
against
things.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, because I hope people don't look at the French. Listen, it's easier to get someone out of the Dutch league playing well and they come into the Premier League and do well than get someone out of the French league who is not playing in a national team. It's hard to adjust. They generally struggle. Newcastle had to be sending back many of these guys coming out of the French league a couple of seasons ago when Rafa Benitez was there. They had to send them back to France. They just never adjusted to who was it? This forward that is what's his name? Is it Haller? He was at West
Which
Ham.
club? Which club did he went?
Huh?
No, but remember that he came over from. He was in Germany. Allah was in
Oh,
Germany.
right. And he came to West Ham and he's now in at Ajax. I believe is Ajax.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So all I'm saying is that when you're going to take a player who is 20 out of how many players out of the French league as 20 has come into the Premier League and you go, wow. Tell me one.
Tough.
Tell me in
Really
the years
tough.
of watching the Premier League, maybe Chris Lynch, who's a statsman, and Kems can tell me a player who
All right.
a
Jason,
20-year
Jason
old.
Curry, if you're still in the comment section, Jason, you can tell us.
Yeah.
Because Jason is a man that keep check
Yeah.
of
I would
stats
like
and
to
those
know
things. So
the
Jason, tell us
20-year-old
if any 20-year-old
defender,
can.
midfielder, or forward that came out of France in the last 15 or 20 years, 15 years, and kind of came in and was dominating the same way he was dominating in
Hazard.
Well, Hazard struggled his first season at Chelsea, First season he struggled.
Yeah, but all long since Saliba has been at Arsenal.
Well, what I'm saying that he has not played here any at all. All right. Somebody's saying Kante. Kante is one. I mean,
No, man, Kante wouldn't be. Remember that Kante didn't came in as a 20-year-old. That's why I never went for
Drogba
Kante.
didn't come in as a 20-year-old. Giroud came at Arsenal when he finished his degree and was a big man. We're talking about Arsenal bought him at 17. So, you understand me? So sometimes people gone all over the place with this thing. Tell me, let me ask the question again. Tell me the last 20-year-old who was dominating in the league in France that came into the Premier League and dominated.
Tough. But here's Joseph, who actually was going at you last week, agreeing with you now, Manningsman, that Ben White will come, but unfortunately he has a bug that will make him miss the game against the Foxes.
Yeah.
It's a mental issue for him. Not every player adjusts quickly move into a bigger club. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
I think
true.
he's
It's
going to
just one of
come
those
good
things.
because he's still young. People talk like Ben White is a 27-year-old. The man is 23. You understand me, Chris Lynch? And Saliba is 20.
Yeah. It's a good boy. The Ben White boy.
Yeah. Oh,
Here
Martial.
what
Yeah,
the thing
maybe
though, Mannings,
Martial.
that is good.
Martial is a good example because he came in
Here what's
young.
the thing with here's the thing with Ben White though. You know the reason why people kind of give him some stick and cut him some slack, the price tag. And Kims was one of those person that said it from the get go that Ben White is going to come under pressure because of the price tag that Arsenal paid for him. So that is
Let me ask you a
where a lot
question.
of things come
Which is
into
a
play.
worse buy? Harry Maguire for almost 100 million or Ben White for 50?
Ben
Which is
White.
worse?
The thing
Harry
about
Maguire.
that, the thing why you can't pressure Arsenal about the price tag is, if they really wanted to look at their defensive struggles, they had to do something. What we wanted Arsenal
But
to do.
Ben White don't improve that.
Of course he has.
Who you would have bought at the time that would improve that?
I'm not name that coming, but it wouldn't be Ben White. Again, as Levan say, the price tag will come with it, don't fit the
All right.
quality and the caliber of player.
Let me say
You
this.
see
Who
them,
you think? If these two players, sorry, Kim, let me ask you this question.
Ben
If
White hasn't played a season yet, so we don't know
right,
if the price tag
and
is right or not.
remember, he was coming off a good season at Brighton as well.
I
All
keep,
right.
but
Here's
we
my
keep,
question though. He's 23 years old. Maguire is what,
okay.
26, going to 27. I think somebody can get Maguire's age.
28.
All right. Who you think you can get back
I believe it's
value
28.
from? 28. Do you think you could get back Manchester can get back the value, or can Arsenal get back the value?
Annings, man. You know, right?
I
know you're
don't.
smart.
That's why I'm asking you.
No, hold on, the Mannings, man. I know you're smart enough when you're asking me the question. Yeah? For know that there is no there's no absolute answer to this question. Like I can say okay, Maguire, and then two twos, something happen with Maguire, and then it just don't work out. I can say Ben White, and then two twos, like it just don't work out. Like I don't know who can give me the most value. But what I can say is that watching both players, Harry Maguire, even though he's struggling right now, he's a much better defender than Ben White. Like there's no two questions about it. If Arsenal had the chance to choose between Harry Maguire and Ben White, Arsenal now choose Ben White.
I am telling you, Arteta will take Ben White.
How
Maybe
you
a
know
next
Arteta?
coach. Maybe a next coach. Because Ben,
Mannings, question, Mannings, man.
Why?
What would you describe Gabriel Magalhaes as? Do you think that he's a ball playing centre back?
I think he can, but he's not the best of the bunch. I think Ben White is the better one at playing the ball,
Right.
but Magalhaes is a better
The reason
defender.
I ask, you know, all right, listen, the reason why I ask is because you just asked Kemza and Chris also asked, who could have they went for? The person that I think they could have went for is a defender from Burnley, James Tarkowski.
No, man.
Tarkowski would have been a better value for money.
No. Listen, Arsenal. What I don't understand is that people have always said that Arsenal. Cause remember how Arsenal made the purchases. We had bought Ozil for a lot of money. You couldn't sell him back. You bought Mustafi. You couldn't. They had all of these players who they bought high and couldn't sell back, and because they were old. So what they decided to do was to spend huge money on younger talent that in 3 years or 4 years time they can recoup some of that money. And I think to me it is good business because the guys are young. The player, I mean, Odegaard is young. The goal Ramsdale is young. Ben White is young. The Japanese defender young. Nuno Tavares young.
Yeah, man.
Tommy.
They're all youngsters.
Tierney young.
Sambi Lokanga young.
Sambi Lokanga. So they have bought young, even if they don't work, even if they don't win a trophy, they at least can get back value for money. Like they could sell back Ben White in 2 years for $50 million.
They're crazy.
If he continues to improve. Well, of course.
So let me ask you a question.
The market is going to inflate, brother. Come on. The market not going to go down.
I understand. I understand that the market is going to inflate, right? But there are certain players, right? There are certain players, even though the market inflates, there are certain players that don't inflate with that said market. So for example, if let me give you, for example, if you're gonna get like a Van Dyke, for example, obviously you're gonna pay due to the inflation of the market, you're gonna pay way more money for Van Dyke than he is probably quote unquote worth. But for a player like a Ben White, who I believe is just a mid-level player, I don't think he's anything special, right?
He's
When me attack
23-year-old though.
Manning's money, Manning's money, also tell me about age, right? Like me
That
not
is
understand with age.
important.
Hold on, the Manning's man, me make you talk. But me just say you're always talking about age when you're defending your Arsenal footballers, always, right? So I'm saying, is it a case where instead of watching their ability, we just watch them age. Okay, this player 20, make we wait until 23 for start criticizing. This player 23, make we wait until him at 27 for start have certain standards. Is that what we should do?
No.
I think you shouldn't use age. I think you should watch their play over time. That's why I said Ben White has not tell us that he's not worth it or worth it yet. I think you
Ben,
What
can
I saying,
use.
Chris? He's too quick to judge.
Yeah, there. It's basically too quick to judge. Not even. Yeah, no game really gone in the season. And plus, Arsenal conceding most times it don't have. It's like conceding. Most time it doesn't have to. It don't have to go to the because you spend that money is the defender and he's not doing his job.
all
Goals
right,
come from everywhere on the
all right,
park. So you cannot
all right,
use
Chris,
team
Chris
scoring
Lynch,
on you that you shouldn't have spent the money.
Chris Lynch. You see, anytime we
Yeah,
find
I
out,
heard that.
anytime we find out how we can break down these videos on Sports Frenzy, me I go come each and every week and break down Ben White play. And because Ben White make a lot of mistakes in the games where Arsenal keep on him, where Ramsdale would have come and save him and no goal no score. So hey, clap, 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 no mistake. However, Harry Maguire on the other end, he make mistake, the hair not save it. Harry Maguire had a bug. Same thing with last season, season before. Lindelof were making a lot of mistakes, and United were conceding from those mistakes. So everything just get bigger. But I've seen Ben White make mistakes, and anytime we're able to break down these
The
videos,
man has only played. How many games have gone in this season so far?
how much game gone on? Nine.
Nine games, and in the Premier League, he has only played 7.
And how much mistakes you will qualify as a lot of mistakes in those 7?
No, you tell me you're breaking it down. So I'm saying that. What are your thoughts? Are you because you can't go to his Burnley? It's kind of here's the thing, Kems. The man was Brighton's player of the season last season because they had one of the top defense because of Ben White. Now he comes and plays 8 games, and you're going to completely eliminate all the Brighton stuff to look at the 7 games at Arsenal to determine that he's a mistake making centre
No,
back.
no. Okay, so all right. So I'm not saying that he's a mistake making centre back, but what I'm saying is that for a $50 million, I'm judging you based off your price tag now. So it's no more Brighton this, Brighton that. I'm judging you as a $50 million defender. There are certain mistakes that you just don't make. Same thing, like trust me, don't get me wrong. Even with Harry Maguire, if you're $80 million defender, you might make some $5 million mistake.
I
Like
don't think your value determines the mistakes. I mean, I've seen Van Dijk make mistakes, and he's a quality defender. I can't use that, Kems, man.
yeah, okay, I understand that, but
So
then
if you buy a foul for $100 million, is he supposed to miss a penalty?
well, of course, come on, Mannings, man. Again, you can't look on things black and white because if I buy a forward for 100 million, but him give me 30 goals and miss 2 penalty, all right, then thank you. If I buy a defender for 50 million, but he make 10 mistakes and him only play good in a 2 game, then that's not value for my money.
But you are using a stat that is not true about Ben White to make your argument.
No, what I'm saying with Ben White is that for a $50 million defender, I believe his IQ is just not where it's supposed to be for a 50 million defender.
And here's what I'm asking you. What have you used to determine that?
When I watch,
I told you it's
when I
too
watch the
young.
games,
Time is too young
all
to,
right,
to know.
From the 7 games he has played,
Hold
how
on,
many
no.
mistakes has he made?
Hold
That
on, Mannings, man.
cost Arsenal a
Mannings, man,
goal.
All right, man, is man. I never come here for talk about Ben White, so I can't tell you that off at the top of my head. But just come for talk about Premier League, score line and them little thing. I can't tell you that. So I don't know where you ask me. I can't tell you that from top of my head, brother.
All right, Kim, listen how to get around this argument. So, you said just like how you took the time out to watch Alan St. Maximan, now you're going to sit down and count the mistakes that Ben White make. I know that you did it with St. Maximan, so now is the time that you do that.
That's too easy.
All right, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the next game. Next up tomorrow, we'll see Watford taking on Southampton. And as I said, I think this will be a 6-pointer. With that in mind, I want to start with Chris this time. Chris, do you think that Watford will be coming out of that high beating of Everton and boy, Southampton getting a valuable point? But which team you think that will come out on top in this one?
I think obviously Watford must be feeling confident under their new coach. They got spanked 5-0 2 weeks ago, and then they went 2-0 down against Everton, and Josh King turned up with a 4-timer. Game ended 5-2. So I think basically Watford is basically the team heading into this contest with most confidence. But Watford has just won one of their last 13 meetings with Southampton, beating them 2-0 in 2017. So that's a good start to have. And Southampton hadn't lost an away match against Watford since 2017. So this one is at home, and I think I have Southampton to probably Watford to probably nick this one 2-1.
All right, Kim, so let's see this one going.
All right, so I like use my little relationship analogies. Like you see two people together and them a walk and them a hold hand and them a say, "Oh, I love you, baby." But you all look on them and say, "Boy, these two people don't love each other." No matter what them say, they don't love each other. And that is Watford for me. Like I see Watford win 5-2 against Everton, but I can't be fooled. Like Watford now go trick me. Like me I look on Watford and say, this is not a team where can give me this performance week in, week out. This is not a team where I got trick me for make me buy in because I have them to stay up, but just barely, not comfortably. So when I look at this game with them and Southampton, I would say them and Southampton is on the same level. Even though Claudio Ranieri, he has a lot of success against Southampton. He has a lot of success against them. But this Watford team is just, they're not. I'm not going to be fooled. I prefer to judge Watford after that Liverpool performance. Let me judge them from that performance, but not this one where them beat Everton 5. With that being said, Southampton, I don't think Southampton is any better, because I have Southampton going down the dungeon. So I think this game will be evenly matched. I think this game will be a snooze fest, and I think it will be a draw. I would say give me a 1-1 draw.
All right,
How would
Mannings, man, let's see this one going.
How did my picks go last week? I should have gotten a lot of good picks last week.
You wish. The picks
Yeah,
them
man.
Yeah,
dead.
y'all did decent.
Yeah, man.
The
I
picks them
think
dead
I
like
should
Ben
have.
White.
I have a tie as well. I think this is a 2-2 scoreline. I think these teams are kind of at the same place. I agree with Kem's scoreline. I don't agree with some of his assessments, but yeah. So 2-2. What's Watford versus Southampton? I think Watford will score a goal, but they are so poor defensively, they are going to concede. Knowing how Claudio Ranieri coaches his team, what you call it? With the Leicester team, where you get the ball and just speedy counter attack. He has a name for it, and dash something other than dash, catch and dash or something that he calls what he uses. And so once they lose the ball again, they are always prone to be scored on. So I'm going Southampton to score. Southampton, not very good defensively. They give up a lot of chances. This Watford team will score. So 2-2.
Okay.
The man who
Next up, we'll see.
hold on there, the man who says that he would replace Maradona with Kevin De Bruyne is telling me that Ben White is ordinary. Your eyes are ordinary, brother. If you want to I get your eyes
So
them
that
ordinary.
I get that.
If you want to replace Mardana with Karim Benzema, your eyes them ordinary. I can't even take none of this so
Maradona with
seriously.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne, yeah. I mean, I can't take anything you say after that. Anything you say seriously.
All right, next up we'll see Liverpool taking on Brighton. Liverpool are in red hot form, especially Mohamed Salah. Chris, I'm going to start with you again because this is your side, and boy, they're looking ominous. To be honest, they got a small side last week and they whopped up that small side 5-0. So come against this Brighton team. How is this one going?
Well, as you know, Liverpool have beaten their last two opponents 5-0 in Watford and Manchester United. So obviously Liverpool is in ominous form and the best player in the world right now for me. Mohamed Salah is looking to get on the score sheet again. Basically, need to continue this form if he really wants to aim at a Ballon d'Or. I think this year, if he really takes it serious and take Liverpool to get a double, he could win that award. But on the other hand, Brighton play good defense without their stalwart Ben White. They still play good defense, only concede 9 times. But Liverpool is at home and will be ready. I can just imagine after beating Manchester United how these fans will turn up at Anfield. Should be a packed stadium because you know when we beat Manchester United, it's always a big thing. So I can expect a big turnout from the fans, and I think it pushed Liverpool over the top, and we get a next clean sheet this weekend, and that vibe of winning the title like we did 2 years ago, basically will be in the stand. So I can see Liverpool probably going away 2-0 winners.
Okay. Mannings, let's see this one going.
Three, very easy pick, man. Liverpool 3, Brighton 0. Those Brighton
All
forwards are
right,
going to break down the
Kems.
Liverpool defense. So 3-0 for Liverpool.
What I
Okay.
will say about Brighton is that they have a bit more pride. They have a bit more pride than the last two Liverpool opponents, right? So I don't think it will be a 5-0 thrashing. However, it will still be an easy game. Obviously, as if I see one name, Fabi Frano saying that Bissouma is back. You could have Bissouma, Nisuma, Krasuma, whoever, it don't matter. Right? Liverpool is just a superior team to this Brighton team. And as Manningsman said, them forward they can't strike on no cylinder, them forward they can't score no goal. So the defense will have a relatively easy time around there. It's just Liverpool, how much they want to score. So I actually agree with Manningsman's scoreline. I'll go 3-0.
Okay. All right, next up we'll see Newcastle taking on Chelsea, and Chelsea are without Timo Werner, Romelu Lukaku, Christian Pulisic, and all those guys. And major thing for them though is that Kovacic, who played very good in their last game, is also out of this game against Newcastle, and it's being played at Newcastle home. So with that in mind, Manning, so I see this one going.
But I'd love to have heard Kems go first on this one, seeing that he has been doing some research and Saint Maxima
Oh,
to kind of
I
hear.
could go first if you want me to. If you
Go
want me
ahead,
to.
Kems. Go ahead,
I'll go
Kems.
first. Is that okay with you, host? Levon, that good with you? All right. So check me out, right? So check me out. I remember last week I came on the show and I spoke about the bad performance that Saint Maximum had, and you know, a certain somebody told me that they're playing a better opponent than them, and just wait until Crystal Palace and right. So then now he shows up against Crystal Palace, right? Bam. This is the first game all season he didn't play 90 minutes. He lost possession. I spoke about it during the week. He lost possession 20 times, right? And this baller does look out of sorts against a Crystal Palace team where I would say, okay, even though Patrick Vieira have them playing well, but the individual told me that they're on the same wavelength. So obviously that was another lie. Now they're going up against Chelsea, and this will be an absolute training session for Chelsea, and that those defenders will definitely eat him alive. And I expect him to lose possession more than 20 times, more than the Crystal Palace game. And I know the new owners are looking on, and I said it before and I'll say it again. when the shipping coming up, he's going to be one of the first persons that Newcastle ship out. And I tell me say he's the best player on Newcastle team, and I beg to disagree because guess what? I think Callum Wilson, I think he is the best player. He's the one who's firing, he's the one who's scoring, and when he doesn't play, we see a different Newcastle team. With that being said, this will be a training session for Chelsea. It doesn't matter who is in the lineup. They can put me and Manning's man in the lineup. It's just a training session for Chelsea. And I think Chelsea will win a easy. Chelsea is not really, you see them come and them want to score, run up the scoreboard like the other day. So Chelsea will give Newcastle, I would say they'll just give them a little 2-0. Because I think they just played the other day too. So I think they'll give them a 2-0.
Okay.
All right, so
Mannings.
yeah, so I think because Newcastle always seem to be able to score some very strange goals against Chelsea over the years. I tell you why. You remember when Cisse and think their Demba Ba was there? Those two forward playing for Newcastle, and I mean, guy just picked up something just like very. They always have this way of scoring some. You have Cheek Kyoto who even scored against. Always have this way of when they play the London teams, they give them a hard time. I don't know what it is or why it normally happens. Whether it's at St James's Park or it's somewhere in London. So I think the players that are missing in Chelsea side is going to affect them. I think Callum Wilson is going to give them a very warm time. Um, so I am going 1-1 draw for this game.
Chris, how you see this one going?
Newcastle, I think one of probably three teams to not have win a game this far. Can't see them taking off a very efficient Chelsea team that seems that no matter how injuries come, they seems to look to dig out a win and find a way out to win, no matter what injuries they face. So I can't see Newcastle getting a point from this game. That's their best they have been able to do, get a point. Like I said, they haven't won. The interesting thing is about Newcastle is that they have money coming in and they look like they are going down to the championship. I don't know how that is going to work out. They need players, they need coach as soon as possible, and they are probably trying to play for a win. But how confident are these players? Because some of them will be on the way out soon because they need good players because they can't compete in this league, it seems, and they just don't seem good enough for the Premier League. And I can't see Chelsea letting them off though and let Liverpool take the lead because Chelsea know these games basically are very important, and they are going to find a way. They are going to find a way to beat this Newcastle team tomorrow, 2-0.
Okay, so you basically agree with Kim's or copy
Yeah,
Kim's. Which
he's
one?
copying my pick since I'm in the lead.
Anything that let Kim's head grow.
Like you can't
All
get a
right.
bigger
Next up, we'll see. Next up, we'll see another team that who are currently playing decent football. They're just closely behind those two at the top. And I'm talking about Man City. They'll be taking on a Crystal Palace team who we come here every week and we talk about them being unlucky. I remember probably it was what last season or the season before we came on here. And well, it was last season. Yeah, we came on here. We always talk about Brighton and being unlucky. They play pretty football, but when they're to get the results, they can't get the results. And it's the same thing with Crystal Palace. They have been playing well, but the result just not turning up for them. Now coming up against a Man City team who knows what is on hand, and especially with Phil Foden playing in the sort of way that he has been playing, boy. Mannings, do you think that it's a game that City will win, or you think Crystal Palace will actually give them some trouble?
Easy pickings. Like Crystal Palace should have called and luck in some of the previous games, like against Arsenal and stuff. But this game, luck ain't gonna help them. They're getting 3 love. No matter how much amount of luck they call
Uh,
and not even Mike Dean can help them. They're getting 3 love.
Kibbs, do you agree?
I have a pretty different scoreline. The thing is, right? Crystal Palace have what? They have drawn 4 games in a row, 1-1. Right? They have drawn 4 games in a row, 1-1. Right? This definitely won't finish 1-1. However, Again, one thing I like with Crystal Palace is that Crystal Palace they don't play the opponent. So if they go up against a Man City, them now say, "Oh, Man City are so scared," right? But obviously, based on talent, based on coaching, you know, every single facet of the game, Manchester City is better. I don't see nothing Crystal Palace better at, probably than losing a game from a winning position. Probably only that, right? But with that being said, this is another trading session game. Pep is going to work on his tactics for the Champions League coming up, and see which players he want to fit together and so on and so forth. So I believe that I believe Crystal Palace. I believe this would be one of Vieira's heaviest defeat. Actually, I think it's going to be 4-1. I'll get 4-1. 4-1.
I thought
I'll
you were
give them
going
a
to say
little goal
five
in
one
the last.
because you almost sounded like you were going down a 5-1 type of settings.
No. Oh, man, 4-1.
Okay, Chris. Do you agree with both these guys? Because Manningsman said 3-0 enough. Kim said 4-1. So both of them has a 3-goal margin. So what say you?
Yeah, obviously Crystal Palace has been conceding 2 goals in their last 6 games. And Man City, on the other hand, hasn't conceded a goal at home. And this game at home this season so far, Man City hasn't conceded a goal at home thus far. So obviously, Man City is playing well at home. But Crystal Palace, they play good football, but this weekend I just can't see them. This Man City team, I don't expect them to score a lot of goals against them because Crystal Palace seem, they give up goals, but they seem like a team that will fight and poses a threat going forward. So I think that will make City back off a little at times. So I probably think 2-0 is a fair
All
Man
right.
City.
Let me respond to that because Mr. Joseph, if you
Let
believe
me, let me,
everything
let,
that
let me read
on,
it up first. Let me read it first.
all right,
All right, so Joseph responding to Kims, he's saying that not true, Kims. The owners have said clearly that only Saint Maximum is guaranteed future at Newcastle. Callum Wilson will be fizzled out because big strikers will be bought by the owners.
all right. So Joseph, if you indeed believe what these owners are saying, then I have a little arc. I have a little arc down the road that I want to invite you to. I want to invite you to an arc down the road. If you ever believe what these owners can come out and tell, there have been owners who came out
It's
and
the best.
say we back this coach 100%, and the coach get fired the next day, or the coach get fired next week. I'm not listening to these owners. I don't want to hear anything about these owners, right? Um, Again, it is my belief, and when Kemar talks, I'm not saying his facts or anything, is all opinionated. I believe these billion-dollar
Okay.
owners come in. I just don't think that Saint Maxima will stay there. But let's see.
So let me ask you a
Okay.
question, Kim. Can I ask a question, Kim?
Yes,
West Ham is also poised for takeover by billionaires. Will they fade out um Mikel Antonio?
and all right. So I don't want it to be disrespectful to Mikel Antonio because he's a much better footballer than that fraud over there in Newcastle. All right. So
Oh, okay.
Mikel,
You're talking about the quality of. Okay, that's what I mean. Okay,
what
okay.
what are we talking about? Yes, I'm
No,
talking about the
no, no. I
quality.
thought I know the question wasn't about the quality of the person. I didn't know you were talking about the quality based on what he was saying. He was just saying he was really saying that they are going to get rid of Saint Maxim, and he's saying that no, because they have come out and said they are not going to get rid of him. And then you are bringing up a
Yep.
quality thing, which is not
Yeah,
what
yes,
the
because
discussion. But this is not the discussion. Is not about the quality of the man.
no, but he's saying that. Well, basically, it is because he's saying that if the billionaire owners are coming out and saying he's the only one who's guaranteed to stay there, and I'm saying that why would I believe owners when owners have come forward multiple times and say yes, we'll back
Is
this
is he
coach?
is he the best player there now?
I don't think so.
Who you believe is?
Based on performance, I would say I think
Is the
I would give it to Wilson right now.
Well, Wilson has played only 3 games, but fine. Then after Wilson, then who?
I
But
don't
if
know. I'm not know. I'm gonna look. I'm
He's
gonna look
their
them up
most
again.
creative
Really? No,
player,
the
Ken.
point is
Whether
the
they like
point
him or
is
not, he's
yeah
Newcastle's most creative player.
is either he's number one or number two.
Hold on. Let me look at the squad. You can continue.
Or you gonna lose, kids. But go ahead. Go ahead, Levan.
Go ahead, Level. I'm gonna look on the squad. I'll bring it
All
up
right,
in the
and
minute. Have.
let's point out that that commenter Joseph is watching us from down there in one of Chris' favorite country, down there in Nigeria.
Trying to
So
go
big up yourself,
Nigeria in a
Joseph. You know
papa.
that we appreciate.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
big up my
yeah,
brother. I wonder if he's in my hometown,
you
Nairobi.
promised the man and came promising the man sailing in ark. You better not go Nigeria
Oh,
here because
so
me have
hold on, Chris. Chris, stick a pin, Chris.
Oh, my
Why
bad,
you
my
just
bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Yeah, my
yeah,
bad.
Nairobi,
You're
Kenya.
right, Jack.
we got the man down there in Lagos, man.
Lagos, Nigeria. There you go. Yeah.
But
Kems,
big up yourself,
you,
Joseph, man. Respect for the
man, you
support as
better try not
always.
end up. You better not go to Nigeria, because you may come back on the ark.
All right. Next up tomorrow, we'll see Burnley taking on Brentford. Burnley who have they have lost a few games, but Brentford, I mean, they have lost at home. I said it on the previous podcast the other day that all the games that they have lost this season have come at home. But guess what? Since midweek, they played in the EFL Cup and they won. They beat Stoke City as expected with a weak inside. So coming up against this Burnley team, I know it's that team that Manning's man for one said that hey, they're going to take points off some of these big teams, not just Arsenal. So do you expect them to bounce back, Mannings?
Burnley. Ah, boy, Burnley, not looking good. And man, tell me to buy Troskowski. This is where Brentford shine. Brentford shines away at home. Um, I don't think Ivan Toney can manhandle the Burnley defense. That's one thing I'm sure about because this is the kind of game that they. I want to see Ethan Pinnock in this game if he's playing, and
He
Ivan
will.
Toney. All right, because this Wood and Barnes, like, and the other the new signing. Oh my God, what's his name? He
Maxwell
comes.
Corney.
No man, not Carney. The other forward. There's an ex big forward that they normally bring on when they take off.
He's not a new sign.
Yeah,
He's
he
an
was
old
there.
man.
Yeah, man.
Vidra.
What is it? Vidra, right? I think this is a Burnley kind of game, right? Kick ball long, headed that kind of thing. Like this is the kind of game that Burnley could get a goal or two out of, and I think though they may struggle with foot speed when it comes on to Ivan Toney bullying them and the others they can't. So I'm going to pick Burnley to surprise Brentford for this one.
Wow.
That means you would have picked Burnley to win their first game this season.
Yeah, yeah. I think the physicality
Scoreline?
of this game, I'm going to say 2-1.
But Mannings, one thing that you're kind of forgetting though, I'm not sure if he's fit, but he didn't play the last game. That's Ben Mee. Tarkowski was
Oh,
partnered by what is his name? Nathan Collins in the previous game. So is that
oh.
I'm not quite sure if Ben Mee is back or not, but I just know that he wasn't in the last game.
McNeil is fit though, and
Yeah,
Carney. Yeah, man.
yeah, yeah.
I'm picking Burnley. I just think this kind of physical game that will like how Brentford play benefits Burnley.
You're saying they match up well.
I get
It's
what
a
you're
Yeah, they
good
saying.
match
match
up.
up well. Yeah, and because they match up well, I give the experience of Burnley the edge. It could draw, but I think if a win is going to come, I could see Burnley getting it. So I'm going to go Burnley 2-1. I think this
Okay.
goalkeeper, listen, Arsenal like Burn Leno suffered under Burnley for 2 seasons. This goalkeeper Rare, he's not going to manage these guys when it comes onto the corners and stuff. I don't know how Burnley stays in the league. Burnley reminds me of some of the Premier League teams in Jamaica back in the days. I mean, this just bump and kick and all of them elbows push you out the way, you know, ball hit them in them bucket going in the goal because it all over that kind of play. So yeah.
All right. Kims, these are two teams that you said that will go down. So I don't know what sort of prediction you have in mind.
So so if I pick two teams to go down and they're playing each other, what do you think the prediction
Draw.
is supposed to be?
Draw.
All right, but that's not what it will be this time around, right? Because I've
He's not so
seen
predictable, man.
because I've seen, I've had a good sample size of Brentford right now against the big boys, right? Not against Crystal Palace and so, but against the Chelseas, against the Liverpools of the world. They haven't played, the bug United yet, but I see them against Chelsea and Liverpool, right? And again, we talk about this many times. It's becoming very repetitive right now. That when Brentford go out there and line up, they know exactly what they want to do, right? And they're not going to play like Burnley, who kick the ball long and then fight you and punch you and kick you and so. No, Brentford actually play some good football, and against Leicester, they were very unlucky not to even get a point from that game, right? So I don't think Burnley is any matchup for them. So I think from a physicality standpoint, I think the game will be very physical. I think there'll be a lot of cards in this game. Probably if Brentford get a red card, probably that will turn the tie for Burnley, and vice versa. But I think Brentford have enough quality, to win this game. I think they were gutted that they didn't even get a result. Didn't get a point last week against Leicester. So I'll have Brentford winning 2-1.
Okay. Chris.
Yes, Brentford very good away from home. Haven't lost. They played 4 games away. They have won two, draw two. And if you want to go back, they have not lost their last 10 away games coming from the championship. So obviously Brentford like playing away from home. They lives for that. They live for that. Burnley on the other hand have won their last 4 meetings with Brentford, but all of us know that was in the championship. And we know Burnley hasn't won a game this season. I don't think this is the game where that luck change. I think that Brentford will be a little too confident, and I think they will still win the game, but it will allow them to concede because they think that and should know that they are the better team in this matchup. So 3-1 Brentford.
Okay, sir. And in the late fixture tomorrow, the El Sakiko. Kims, where see this one going? Because these are two managers that deserve to be sacked. Both of them deserve to not be in their jobs. Where see this one going? Spurs against a club from Old Trafford.
Um, so you know, you hear those rumors about Conte, and Conte saying that he will be open to taking over the Manchester United job, and we hear all those stuff going on, right? But honestly, really and truly, I don't think Manchester United wants to fire Ole, because unless if they're sure, say, if this coach come in, them can win the league or win the Champions League or whatever the case may be, right? So with that being said, for this game, Tottenham not really playing a football. Tottenham very, very, very inconsistent, and I believe with this season, I was one of them who big up Nuno at the start of the season. I said, him do that with Wolves, him gonna do this with Tottenham and thing, but he just haven't looked the part, haven't fit the part. I'll be the first one to say that. Tactically, he look, for me, tactically in it, right? And after, when your team now playing a football first half, second half may expect you to come with some changes. I don't see the changes, right? However, with that being said, I think it's going to be a very, very, very tough game for Manchester United, because even though Harry Kane now have on him shooting boots fully, and even though they played very poorly against West Ham, I believe I spoke about this on the last podcast. A lot of teams is out there that Manchester United is even blow out Harry Redknapp, Missy come out. Harry Redknapp, like when the last that man coach in this league, that man come out and say, you know, Manchester United, I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember exactly what I'm saying, but basically, he must say it's a clown show over there, right? And, that's very disrespectful, so, but I think Harry Kane will enjoy himself. I think Son will them try himself. We just have to really pray that De Gea can hold the ship together because Harry Maguire has totally forgot defending. I think Luke Shaw, I think
Your
all of
boy
the top.
Varane is back.
Varane is back. Well, hopefully Varane look like him have made screw on, but Varane alone can't help when three person around and now do them job. Luke Shaw look like from them tell him say him are the best left back, him forget how to play football. And then obviously our little two pivot now work because Fred and McTominay is just not it. The only thing I can grab solace from is just the fact say Tottenham now play good either. And their defensive line prone to mistakes, prone to at least one or two mistakes. Hopefully, Cristiano can go ahead and capitalize on one of them or even both of them. But Bruno Fernandes, sometimes what I don't like about Ole, one of the main things I don't like about the coach is that he's not self-aware. And in certain positions, you have to have self-awareness. And I don't think he's self-aware. By his standards, he think he's doing a great job. He think he's doing a fantastic job. He said that he's close. I don't know what he's close to, but he said that he's close,
Back.
right? And and I think that Bruno should go to the coach and say, you know what, coach, I'm not playing well right now. Just put me on the bench so I can see the game from a different lens. Because sometimes, when you're playing, you don't know. Sit down on the bench, see how the team is playing, see how you can integrate yourself in the side. Because a lot of people harp about Bruno. Oh, I'm better than Kevin De Bruyne. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. Right? That man is an average footballer. No elite stuff. Nowhere close. Right? So with that being said, all that rant Tommy just do, I am still again. This is probably a big game for Bruno. I know him disappearing at him there. But with that being said, all that talk, I am going with a Manchester United win.
As expected.
I am going with
Prediction?
I am going with Manchester United 2. That would be a goal by Cristiano Ronaldo and Marcus Rashford, and Tottenham 1, a goal by Harry Kane.
Alright, so
I
before I
hope I
move
get
on to
extra
Chris and
points
Manning's
if I'm
ears.
right on the scorers. All right, sir.
So yes, Adrian Nichols is saying that Manchester United are gonna make Kane and Son get back some form.
Yep.
Yes, Kevin Bernard also saying that this Dismal United will win. There must be a rebound. They will fight for pride and must win United 2-0. Mannings, let's see this one going.
Very easy. Manchester United are going to rebound. They are going to beat Tottenham. It's very easy to predict that, regardless of how bad the coach is or incapable he is, how poor his tactic may seem to the fans, the players are going to rebound. As a Manchester United person, would have spoken to these players, I believe, the Alex Ferguson, the Paul Scholes, spoken to the players about the importance of the badge and what it represents. And if not for the coach, they are going to do it for the club. That's it. Spurs will have no answer to the onslaught tomorrow. That's how good Manchester is
You,
going to
you,
be.
you, you one thing I can say, you must hate Spurs more than how you hate United. I'll say that. I'll say that.
All right?
'Cause I don't
You
know where you see
cannot.
that come from.
You cannot. I have never seen one of the top teams get 5 low. I can't recall. Somebody have to tell me. And didn't put on a performance the next game. I've never seen that happen to
I un-
Liverpool.
I
Like,
understand what you're saying in a
if
Mannings,
that
but
happens, if Manchester loses and don't look good, I think this is the beginning at the end of not just the the coach, but players and them being in the top four.
all
They
right.
they, they just have to rebound tomorrow.
Mama ask you a
And I
question quick.
think, let me say this, I think I am glad that they get a Tottenham to play. So that, because beating Tottenham is like if they gave Burnley, if they gave Norwich 5 tomorrow, it will wipe away the memory of the Liverpool game. If they turn up tomorrow and beat Spurs and play well, people will look to that and say, where was this last week? You beat Norwich, people will not say
Mm-mm.
that. All right?
Not I. As
Well,
far
not you.
as I'm concerned, I wouldn't mind seeing them lose tomorrow. No joke. That's how bad I want this coach out. But Chris, no Manning Sam scoreline.
Huh? I would say 3-1 Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to show up. So 3-1 Bruno is going to start because Pogba is not there. So I'm going 3-1 Manchester United.
Yes, Joseph, who is a United fan, saying that Ole has to save his job because if he gets a sack, which EPL club will go for him? Don't even see any EFL team going for him. Tactically, he's so predictable. Man, McLevan dumb his jersey today. um, it's a promise, man. Until Ole leaves this club, I won't be coming on the show in any Manchester United shirt. I support Ole. But Chris, what's your
Yes,
scoreline
Mannings. Let's
prediction
pick
for
up
this?
after that. You said Ronaldo will. You and Kemps both said Ronaldo will score, so might as well I pick up there. Ronaldo hasn't scored in his last what four, in his last four league games for United after he had scored three in his first two. So I guess you guys is saying it's time now for him to turn up. Levan will be saying the same thing. And he hasn't done that since 2017. He hasn't scored. This is the first time. This is the second time he's going on a league drought, like 4 games since 2017 against Real Madrid. Anyway, you guys went 29. Manchester United went 29 unbeaten before Leicester City beat them 4-2, and they haven't lost consecutive since 2017 against Arsenal when they lose away to Arsenal and lose away to Liverpool. Management like to hear Arsenal, a team losing to them, he shakes his head like that. Anyhow, this game, the odds I would, as a betting person, I will bet that the Tottenham coach will lose his job. I wouldn't bet on nothing else on this game than that the Tottenham coach will lose his job. Because Manchester United, I think, will turn up and away from home and put in a 2-1 performance.
Okay. All right. Next up, we'll see Norwich taking on Leeds United. Norwich were desperate, 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 and after that mauling by Chelsea last weekend, boy, it can't get any worse for them because I hear a particular quote says his team from Old Trafford is at rock bottom right now, but if you're gonna ask Norwich, they're the one that is supposed to be talking about rock bottom because they're at the foot of the table and also got dropped 7-0. Nothing nothing inspiring for them. But Mannings, do you think that they can actually get a bounce because boy, not looking good for Norwich at all?
All right, so I watched Leeds play against Arsenal midweek on Tuesday, and they used Calvin Phillips and many of the other players played. I mean, they didn't have Bramford, so I'm not sure if he has recovered. I
Bamford's
didn't
still out.
still out. I didn't see Rafino, so I don't know what is the status on him. But Leeds look like they're going to struggle. I am going to pick Norwich to win this game. Um, Surprise! They're at home. They just got 7. Leeds not playing well. Leeds played on Tuesday. Players are still out. Um, yeah, Leeds has been scraping to score goals. They don't look as convincing as they were. And Norwich has been beaten badly. I think some things are going to change tomorrow. Like you can't be losing and keep the same thing. So tomorrow there are going to be changes. Um, so I'm picking Norwich. It may sound crazy, but I think Norwich gets their first win tomorrow. They defeat Leeds by 2-1. At some point, Timo Pukki is going to score, and I think tomorrow is that day.
Okay. All right, Chris. Where's this one going?
That's the second. That's 2 teams of the 3 teams that hasn't won that Mannings picked to one. Boy, Mannings has
Yeah.
a lot of faith in them this week that they will come away with 3 points. But yeah, Leeds the I mean Norwich, the third team that we analyze tonight that hasn't get a win and struggling in the relegation zone. You hearing me?
Yeah, man, hearing it. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it.
Levan?
Yeah, man, he's hearing.
Here, man.
So Leeds, a team that I like basically, but always seem to disappoint me. But Norwich hasn't been playing nothing like you can see. They have basically they don't score a lot of goals, but they concede. They haven't scored more. They haven't scored more than one goal in their last 20. So they haven't scored a +2. They have just scored 1 goal in their last 27 league games, and that's not a sign of wanting to win games. So I can see probably Leeds sneaking away 1-0 with this one.
Whoa. Um, Next up, we'll see Aston Villa taking on West Ham, a game that has two Jamaican representatives in the shape of one Leon Bailey and Mikel Antonio. Mannings, last weekend you said that Mikel Antonio would have popped up with the winner, and he did pop up with the winner. This weekend, what are you predicting? Bailey and Antonio to get on the score sheet?
Listen, I really want Aston Villa to lose. They talk too much. I start despising them as a club. Like this guy in the goal, he believes that he's the greatest goalkeeper in the world. I want them to lose. So I'm picking West Ham to beat them. West Ham is a London club. I want West Ham to beat them. I feel bad. I want them to get relegated. I know it may not happen.
Wow.
Yeah, man, but I would really love them to get relegated. I did say they are not going to finish in the top 10. They talk too much. They think they are the greatest. They believe.
Mannings,
Listen,
I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw for one of Kim's
yeah.
female analogy. You're sounding like a bitter person in the relationship.
All right. Well, I was never in a relationship with them, so I don't know if that analogy really works. What I'm saying though is that they believe that they are a top 6. They have a top 6 squad, and they don't. They don't have a top 6 squad. Like you check it. Mings is not no big defender. Who are the other defenders? They are no known some no-name defenders.
The only good defender down there now is really Kansa. I like Kansa.
There you go. In midfield, they have the Brazilian who not
Douglas
looking good.
Luiz.
Douglas Luiz, who doesn't start for Brazil anyways. They have Leon Bailey. Ali Watkinson is, had a good season last season. Having come up from the championship. Not no big forward. Can't break into the English side. Martinez was a reserve at Arsenal, and all of a sudden he believes that he's the greatest goalkeeper in the world because he won Copa America. Somebody needs to remind him that Copa America is not the World Cup. It's not the World Cup.
Kims, I'm glad that you joined because Manning's man is here sounding like a toxic boyfriend that a girlfriend just left.
All I'm saying
because
is
Emmy Martinez has been talking up a star.
Yeah, man, the West Ham team is a better team than Aston Villa, man to man. A better team.
I agree with that.
So I want West Ham to win because this Aston Villa team, they talk too much. I'm going Mikel Antonio to score again. Leon Bailey will have an assist, but they're going to lose 2-1.
Okay. So Kims, as I said to you, Kims, Manning's man is here sounding like a toxic person that a girlfriend just left because Emmy Martinez left Arsenal and since then he has just been. So Manning's man feel a way about that. Manning's man even went to the extent that he wants Aston Villa to get relegated. So what do you say, Kims, about this game?
All right. So when a player leaves a team and they go on talking, I like to listen what they're saying. Are they saying the truth? What are their words true? And it come to be proven that it was, and Manning's man can agree that it was a bad decision to put Leno or however you pronounce his name as the number 1 over him when Martinez was definitely the better goalkeeper in every possible way. So only thing I don't like in Martinez, he said that, I think he said one time that it was an upgrade. I don't think playing for Aston Villa is an upgrade, but I think probably starting would be an upgrade. Probably starting.
That's what he said. He went there, he upgraded to win trophies. What the heck? What trophies?
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
and that this man has been at Arsenal for 30 from he was like 15 and said that he regretted going to Arsenal and he went there because of the money at 15-year-old man. Listen, I want him to get.
That was definitely a little bit overboard with what he said. What he said where that is concerned, but Manning's man sound a little bit salty. I mean,
you sound just like the goalkeeper, Mannings. He was salty and he's coming off salty as well.
Somebody said this thing, I think Owen Green, and this is what I wanted to answer, Kems. Was Aston Villa better off with Jack Grealish or are they better off with Leon Bailey?
Well, going by your logic, I'm going to say it's too soon.
Can I answer?
I don't have enough sample size to make that judgment.
Oh, we have enough sample size of Ben White.
When games don't rate you, the sample size cannot be too small.
Hey,
Continue, boss. Continue, boss. Continue.
but this but this game though, I think West Ham will win. I think it'll be a high scoring game. But I just think West Ham have more quality. One thing though, I hear Mr. David Moyes talking about Rice is now worth more than 100 million. I don't know if it's Jasmine or
Here is the next
Alberto.
bitter one.
I don't know
You're
what
looking
kind
at
of rice.
Rice. You want to buy the man Rice, so now you're bitter about the price.
It's not Jasmine.
Huh?
It's not Jasmine, Kems. You said this. What you said? You said the player that David Moyes is talking about. That's quinoa. That can't be Rice. It has to
Because
be quinoa because man, 100+ million. You're
the man
crazy.
said if he did buy him last year, 100 million was the price. Man said no longer. No,
Well, what's his name? What's his name? Basmati Rice?
Do you know why these two Manchester United fans are discussing the price? They want this Rice, but they don't want to pay the money for it.
No,
you don't want to pay the price for the rice.
that man don't worth that. I don't care how good he's
How much is he worth, Ken? How much is he worth? How much is he worth?
All right, so
Here
I can look at it, right? Jack Grealish was 100 million.
Hold on a second. James, factor in this as well.
Oh, see it there?
The comment on the screen, 1 year left on his contract.
Make him play out that.
All right, so here's the thing though, Kems. Here's what I want to ask you. Do you believe if Declan Rice was in your midfield now, you would be in the top three comfortably?
By far.
Huh?
No.
Really?
We would.
Let me tell you why.
Really?
Because of the coach we have. That coach that probably put Rice on the bench. Knowing him?
No. Kems,
No.
You're going worst case scenario now.
You think you're gonna bench? You think you're gonna bench Fred for Rice? You're gonna find some way. You're gonna find some. Hey, you're gonna find some way to tell. We say, Fred intangibles and he sacrifices a lot for the team.
All right, let me ask you a different question. If Rice were starting for these 9 games in the Premier League in this Manchester United team, how far up the table do you think they possibly could have been? That determines the man value, If he could add a next 7 points to your whole thing, maybe he's worth the money.
No, Manning's not for over 100 million.
No, not for. All right,
yeah, but 100 million. I think.
All right.
If Harry Maguire worth 85, Rice, because Rice to me is better than Harry Maguire.
Manning's man, you can't look at it like that. You can't look at it say because Harry Maguire, you paid this for Harry Maguire 2-3 years ago, then you're gonna pay this for Rice now. Like you can't look on it like that. But
that's how the clubs are looking at it now, Ken.
Exactly so.
That's how the games. That's how the clubs are doing business. Selling to Manchester, Liverpool, City is a different price range from selling to Leicester.
Let me ask you again, Kems. All right, who would you have rather Manchester United spend $72 million on in the summer? Declan Rice or Jadon Sancho?
Rice.
All right. So
Rice.
you could see.
No man, Rice.
Because they needed that though, money. That's the thing.
Rice,
Kems know that they needed that.
He's a more direct need. I believe with Sancho is a case of the rich getting richer. Like we just put more people. I guess, but Sancho is an outright winger, but I guess all in all, like we must see in a training. Like we don't know, but I think Declan Rice is something what we need. What a player the name Levon we go Real Madrid, what name?
Oh, Camavinga.
I was begging, because when I say Rice not available, I was begging for that baller, please.
Brother, $32 million, jeez.
But the 100 million thing, Manning's man, no man, because, and I don't think, I'm not going to say we would be comfortable in the top 3 because the mistakes what we make in some of the games, I don't think a defensive midfielder can fix those mistakes. Like some mistakes, so Harry Maguire
because the one player you have a problem with, what is Fred? Every day your quarrel says Fred. So if Declan Rice is there, Fred would not be.
No.
Kems, a lot of it could have been covered because guess what, Kems? At these central defenders, knew that they have someone as sturdy and someone that they can depend on, like Declan Rice in front of them, the standard would have raised. But knowing that
I
Alfred in front of your boss, man,
I disagree. I disagree with that. Like you can't tell me say as a central defender, as a big central defender, because you have a pivot that is probably substandard. Your level is poor. I think say that's supposed to raise the level even more, raise the awareness even more. For no say you have to do a lot more work. But the mistake of the central defenders them a make,
yeah, man,
I don't think.
Kims, with Maguire though, right?
Uh-huh.
One, is off form. We agree with that. Two, Maguire is not fit. That's another thing. And I pointed
Okay.
it out on the show before that Maguire and Luke Shaw aren't fit. And only thing can let those guys get a rest is if they get a serious injury, as was proven with Marcus Rashford. So unless they get some serious
Exactly.
injury, they won't
So
rest.
how Declan Rice could have helped them man they get fit?
No, man, Declan Rice not cover for them, man. Fred can't do that.
Boy,
Probably you guys need to
All right. Okay.
talk David Moyes and Rice. Give Moyes a second stint.
So who you
Right.
take? Besuma for 100, Rice for 100, or Ndidi for 100?
None. Like $100 million art. I would take Bissouma for 60. I'll take Rice because Rice now the on top of him game. But I get Rice with 68, 70 max.
Yeah.
And Dini 55.
Right now, me want Tielemans for 80. Yeah,
All right. Yes, we're talking about $100 million now. If Leicester demand $100 million for Tielemans, we pay that, man. Tielemans are the man where they say worth them type of figure there. And he's not worth it either. That's
And
the
him not
thing.
worth
But
it neither.
boy,
You see Mannings, man. You see when they talk about the inflation thing, Tielemans is a man who can fit the bill. Declan
Okay.
Rice, what's am I going want? If
The man is
Manchester United,
English, brethren. You have to understand that
English
English
tax.
ballers are priced in England set differently. That's just how it works.
well, that's true. But I expect Manchester United, if they're trying to strike a deal, think them are gonna push Lingard in at the deal too.
Phil Jones, the man. Can't get them Phil Jones in.
That's
Anthony
what I think.
Martial. They
I
can't
think
take.
what they should have done
give
is
them Fred
try
and
to.
Lingard, eh?
No, I think they should have get exactly Fred and McTominay or somebody else. No, Lingard and somebody else, and then pay like a 25-30 million for Rice because
Mannings, man. Listen, Mannings, man.
Eh?
I'll give them Fred, Anthony Martial, Phil Jones, Jesse Lingard. Let me see what else. If they want Scamatellers, then can get Scamatellers too. You don't mind. That's where I'm at. But it's just one of those things. But Ken,
So,
you
but for that, I have West Ham 3-2.
all right, and for the Norwich game, give me a scoreline.
Oh, on the top about Norwich game already?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about my absence, right? But for the Norwich game now, right? Leeds flop, right? Leeds flop. So we can all agree that the sample size is not too small because when a team play football, you will see flashes. Like if the team can get better, then you'll see flashes of them trying to get better or improving also. But Leeds they don't this right now, and they don't have a second gear. You know, they have one gear, and after that, if that don't work, then I hit that. So I actually believe that this will be Norwich first win of the season.
So
I
you
believe
agree?
that.
You actually agree with Mannings?
Really?
Yeah,
Good
Mannings
thing
have
Manning
the
start
one.
before he did it here.
Hey, but at when you look at it, right? I see Norwich dig out some results the way people expect them to lose, and they're at home right now. I know they're licking their chops that Leeds is coming into town, off form, look clueless, don't know what to do. And if it's a team where you want to play against a weak defense, Leeds is the team that you want welcome into town. So I think Norwich will win this game 2-1.
Okay. Chris, your prediction for the Villa West Ham game?
Two Jamaican international coming up against each other. I know most Jamaicans or all Jamaican football fans will be probably watching this one. It's a tough one, but only Mohamed Salah has contributed, have been involved in more goals than the West Ham and Jamaican international, Mikel Antonio. So obviously he's having a good season. Villa though has lost their last 3 Premier League games. This one is bad, and this David Moyes though hasn't lost to Villa in his last
And
5 occasions. Big coach
it's
David
my son
Moyes.
that this brother go for a draw.
No man, you can't afraid it though. West Ham walking away. West Ham walking away with this one, man. West Ham walking away with this one. 2-1.
Okay. And with the final fixture of the match day weekend on Monday, we'll see Wolves going up against Everton, two yo-yo teams. This week they're good, next week they're not. Mannings, again, I don't think. What? Wolves started Iron Balloon the other day for some reason, and guess what? Their winning streak was snatched. The
I'm
moment they
telling you,
started him, the
the
moment.
brother, the man, me I tell you, brother, the man can't boss. That's the problem over there. But is
But
Richarlison
the man
back?
informed. Yeah, he scored against Watford, man.
But he didn't start.
No, he came on as a sub, and
Okay.
within I
Okay.
think it was his third touch there, but he scored. But the man for Wolves that is in form is Wang. Wang has been in supreme form for
Yeah.
them. So them being at home, do you think they can win this game?
I could see this game going 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2 with this game. I think this is going. I think
Sounds good.
Wolves are going to score. As long as they bench Iron Balloon. If they let him play 90 minutes, there could be in some problems. I hope the coach is listening to this and do the right thing and put him on the bench. Let him be a super sub Iron Balloon. All right, I'm going with I'm good.
All
I'm
right,
going with 2-2 for this game.
Chris.
Everton versus Wolves. Well, Wolves, I mean, they don't score a lot of goals, but they're not conceding too much. I mean, 9 is not bad. But Everton had conceded 9 Premier League goals in the final 30 minutes of game this season. So, Everton, boy. I don't like Everton games, they're very hard to predict, but I'm going 1-1 with this one. Wolves and Everton, 1-1.
All right, Kems.
All right, just like what I said about Watford, the same thing for Everton. Like, I don't think Everton would put in such a putrid performance that they did the other day. As I said, we spoke about it last week. If it was the first half alone, where I say Everton deserve to win the league based on how they were
Yep.
playing. I don't know what kind of team talk Benitez got tell them, but them just come out very flat and got whooped as they deserved. So with that being said, right, Wolves is a very hard team to score against, but they're also a very hard team to score. Right? So them not gonna score no whole heap of goal and them not gonna concede no whole heap of goal. So I think for Manningsman 2-2, I think that's a stretch. Even though I think they won a game against Aston Villa, I think it was a 3-2 they won, but yeah, them think they have 1-1. But I actually agree with Chris. I think it's going to be a 1-1 game. Not a lot between these two teams. I think Wolves obviously the more unlucky of the two teams because I think there were games that Wolves could have won that they drew or lost. So I think it will definitely be a 1-1 kind of game. I think Everton, you know, after being embarrassed last week, I think they have something to prove. They want to come back, and I think Wolves after giving up that late penalty last week as well when they could have grabbed 3 points. So I think both teams, will, just play a very competitive game and it will be a 1-1.
Okay. And that's come to that part of the show where I'm just going to go around the table and give you guys all a minute. Starting with Mannings. Your minute starts in 3 seconds. That's 3, 2, 1. So go ahead.
Oh, yeah, yeah, man. Good show as usual. Always glad for the opportunity to join my friends at Sports Frenzy. Just want to encourage the people out there to, you know, use some bad manism. Yeah, man. Make a man know they need to subscribe to the channel or then get dirt. We're not talking about to kill them, we mean like to give them some dirt. You understand? Give them some dirt. You understand me? You understand? But get some people to subscribe to the channel, man, and support the work. These guys, they work diligently and stuff. They organize the thing, the discussions are normally, not all over the place. Work with a time limit. So support them, in any way you can. You understand me? All right. So yeah, man, that is my thing. Just to support the channel, support Sports Frenzy. Big up to Kems always, and you need faithful people like Kems on the platform still. I will in talk with Pa Bramble, and you understand me. I'm always there. I'm always there, no matter what. You know,
Yeah, man.
you know
Tell,
me.
tell the
Really,
people where they can find you.
huh? Yeah, man. I am sure sports. I'm there. Levon, a
Tell the
long
people.
time, a long time. A long time. You know, come on the show, Levon.
You
Come on.
invite me, boss.
Eh?
Right?
No, Kems,
Management.
you don't need no
Management. It's just
invitation,
like I was
Kems,
send
man.
out the invitation. Hold on, man. Same
Eh?
like I was send out the invitation. That's how we expect you to send out the invitation.
Oh, all right,
We know that we
boss.
are
All right,
welcome over
boss.
there at any point in time, but we want you send out the
Yeah.
invitation because you might not send me a comment, but a lot of times probably caught up doing something. So all I'm gonna do is just leave the laptop, make it just go and run on the
All
video
right, not a problem, brother. Not a
and
problem. We're gonna
watch it.
send you the invite. Kems, no one say we're gonna drop the invite because one of the people them beat you, Kems. The people them beat you, Kems. You understand me? One of the people them beat you, Kems. Can you go up on big old radio represent Sports Frenzy and lose debate, Kems? You see me?
You still remember that?
Me vex about that, Kems. You can't go lose it. Kems, if you get banned from the show for a month or a month, you can't go lose the debate, Kems.
What's all them
We're gonna
thing they
take away,
go?
we're gonna take away,
Yeah, man.
we're gonna take
I
away your work
agree.
ID, brother. You understand me? We're gonna take away ID. You're not getting no, you're a madman, Kems. You can't do that,
True.
man. You need to ask
True.
what the man for your next debate, Kems. You need to say you need a rematch. I've got
All
past a
right.
minute still.
Chris, you're a minute.
Yeah, I want to echo Mannings, man. Like, what I'm saying, like, subscribe, and share the content. That's how you support Sport Frenzy. While we give you good betting tips to go make money. Look at Kems, he's probably riding around 3 games. Basketball is going on. You see, Kems can't stay focused. He's trying his best. He has a lot of money on the line right now.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man. But basketball is going on. NFL is going on. Um, the basketball is very interesting so far. A lot of teams that were bad seasons ago are coming good. So it's shaping up to be a good season, and the NFL also is shaping up to be a great season. And you know the EPL is always marvelous. That's what we discuss here tonight. The EPL. We have silent the Liverpool. Me as a Liverpool fan, I'm happy that was silent Levan and Kems. Got to get them a little quiet, and hopefully they can take care of Tottenham because we want Ole to really stick around for some more time because we trust in Ole. That's what we were singing at the stadium. So it's a worldview that everyone wants Ole to stay. It's not just us in Jamaica. The people in England really, other from United fans, really want Ole to stay because they know more than the board, it seems, that Ole cannot coach. So yeah, man, that's my minute.
Okay. Kemps.
Nah, talk about no football, but yeah, you bring up a good point about basketball, and I've always said that where basketball is concerned, when the New York Knicks is good, and when the Lakers are good, when those teams are good, like the league nice, the league nice because obviously, the Knicks, you
Only the
think
Knicks
Hold on,
are
hold
good
on.
right
Repeat
now,
again.
though.
What you just said?
the Knicks and the Lakers
The
when they're
Lakers
good,
and the
Yeah, but the Lakers are not good, so the
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 league
league is
come.
not
just
good.
Hey,
5 game
hey,
in, nothing
hey,
serious.
Mannings man, come on, is
If
that
you if you
82
if
game?
if, if you can't say the Lakers are not good, then you can't say the Knicks are good
What you mean?
because it's the same
The
sample
same thing you just
size.
say just 5 games in. So you
No,
can have a valid
no.
point. I want
So me talking about okay. Let me rephrase. When the Lakers and the Knicks make the playoffs,
Oh,
right?
you changed now. Oh, you changed now.
No, because we're not gonna use. We're not. I wasn't really talking about this particular season. I talk about like from
Oh,
last season. Because
oh,
remember, Knicks had missed the
Okay,
playoffs for
okay.
ever so long. So Knicks come back now into the picture. They have Tibbs as their coach over there playing some tough defense, and they keep on getting some free agents. Making the market all that good again. So. It's very good. I'm not worried about the Lakers. The Lakers have superstars. The Lakers will be all right. They'll figure themselves out, right? I notice the Warrior fans are not. Let me talk about Steph Curry, who I love so much. Steph Curry, and I don't know if this is a word, but it's a word today. Steph Curry is the most unclutchest superstar I have ever seen in the history of basketball. Yesterday, and I can and let me just run through it real quick.
Reaching,
Yesterday, they
reaching.
were leading by 10 in the fourth
You have
quarter.
got,
Yeah. I'm
about
asking
two
for a little
minutes
bit
and
of real
35
estate. I'm asking for
seconds.
some real estate. Give me some more real estate, right? Yesterday in the fourth
Time,
quarter,
time, time is precious. Time is precious, and you are going to have to pay for this time.
they were leading by 10 with four. They were leading by 10 in the fourth quarter. Steph Curry scored 0 points in the fourth quarter, 0 points in overtime. I don't want my superstar doing that. Let us talk about when Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson got injured against the Toronto Raptors. Choke, choke, choke. When we talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers beating up 3-1, choke, choke, choke. So Steph Curry is a choker. He's a
You
brilliant.
can talk till like kingdom come. Guess what? My boy Clay Thompson will be back soon as well, so I don't
He's
have to worry
coming back
about
in
clutch, clutch,
February.
clutch, clutch, clutch. It's all going to be guess, 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 guess.
Oh,
Don't worry yourself, man. 3-1,
and
3-1. I'll take that.
and last
Three
and
and one. I'll
lastly,
take that right now.
And lastly, guys, we have a big NFL show tomorrow. Make sure to tune in. Last week, the picks them never saw hot, man, I lie. You know, we take a lot of bad beating last week, but I just saw it go. It is a part of gambling. You know, we take a lot of bad beating and we have to pay with
Yep.
fines and so. But, you know, this week we are back again. You know, this week look relatively challenging, you know, but we have done our research and, you know, we have to pay back the population. So, you know, we'll be back tomorrow and ready to go. Chris Lynch, you can come over there, come give picks to you, know, Chris Lynch.
You have
All
the
right.
Levon, just echo the sentiment. Send the link if I'm available. More than likely, I'm in.
All right. Say less, boss. But I'm just going to echo the sentiment of one Manning's man from I Am Sure Sports and Chris Lynch. Guys, we are 5 subscribers away from hitting that 500 mark. Just 5. You must can give it the 5 of them tonight. Just 5, you know. 5 and we're at 500. So just give us the 5 subscribers and that's it. But
Make it a great
thanks
night.
again. Simple as that, man. Only thing will make it greater tomorrow is if after what? Let's see, around 4 o'clock Jamaica time, I see that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has gotten sacked. But guys, keep on supporting Sports Frenzy and
So
the
Levan,
merch. They're right
sorry,
around the corner.
Levan, would you prefer the team to lose and Ole get sacked, or them for to win and Ole stays on?
The team to lose, Ole come out of my club. Simple as that.
The
But
money,
thanks to all our viewers. Go again. What were you saying, Kim?
no, may I say, you're not even eat only with a passion. You eat him, you eat him with a
Without
fruit,
passion.
man.
Yes. But
General.
thanks to all the viewers, thanks to all the commenters. You're the one that makes this possible. And guys, just keep on supporting Sports Frenzy. Tomorrow, as Kim said, there will be an NFL show 7 p.m. Jamaica time. So mark it down on your calendar and your alarm clock and whatever not. Just mark it down. And thanks to our producer Josh Collins makes this possible. Pick up yourself, boss. Thanks to Mannings, man. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to Kems. Until next time, which will be tomorrow. Stay safe. Peace out. Enjoy the